Portal's glowing, we're on the free-to-play, and I haven't been this excited to pull shards and summon champions in a long, long time. Hello everyone, Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and we are on the free-to-pause account because we are here to pull shards, we are here to summon champions, we are going to do the summon rush, and I'll do just a little bit of an account update here. Now first of all, as you can see right next to me over here, we have Arbiter glowing. I have managed to get Arbiter. In fact, I managed to get Arbiter effectively last night. Perfect timing because I get to pull her today because she is worth 650 points, I believe, in the champion chase. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to summon a bunch of champions before we actually start pulling some shards. And then I've got a bunch of shards to pull. It's 2x on almost everything, other than the fact that it is not 2x on mystery shards. And I'm actually really upset about that. If you guys are angry that we don't have a 2x mystery shards, let me know in the comments below. So we have the champion chase tournament here. We have lots of stuff here available. Now the rare is 350 points. And before you get upset that the rare is 350 points, some of the reason the rare is 350 points is because you can fuse up to 3 of the epics from this particular fusion for over 1,000 points. So in theory, if you plan this correctly, which hopefully you have, hopefully you've been listening to some of us that have been giving you this advice, you should be able to get over 1,000 points before you even start pulling, let alone if you've got other things to pull, you'll have plenty more things to pull before you get to that 3,500 points. So it's a little higher than I expected. I actually kind of expected it to be closer to 3,000, but I did expect it to be a little bit elevated because of how many bonus points you can get in fusing. So as far as what champions are worth, just a quick reminder here. So we have rares are worth 10 points, void rares are worth 50 points, epics are 250 or 350, legendaries are 500 or 650s, and if you get lucky to get a mythical, although I'm not quite sure why you might get a mythical, other than maybe remnant shards, that is worth 1,000 points. So we're looking for some good pulls. I don't think I'm going to have any problem hitting it on this account because first of all, we have Arbiter here. This is going to be kind of cool, and that's really kind of underwhelming. Really nice to see the summoning animation there, Polarium. Please fix that. So, but that's 650 points right there. But wait, we've got more because we're going to get more ag right here. That's going to be another 250 points. So we are already at 900 points. And I haven't done anything at all. Next up, we're going to get one of these Dawncaller Sabbathas. Summon you. I'm probably going to get both of them, but right now we're definitely going to get one of them just to see. That's another 350 points. We are going to grab Huntress. That's going to be another 50 points. We're going to grab Bloodhorn. That's going to be another 50 points. See, I get walk-up animations for these folks, but not for Arbiter. I mean, come on, Polarium. So anyway, minor points aside. So I've got another 350 points here for Dawncaller if I want her. That's fine. Also, during the fusion here, I've got 2 ready to go. So we can fuse her. That's going to be another 350 points. It doesn't matter which one you fuse. You can only do 4 of these total. Why would you think you might be able to do more? Well, because they don't go away at some point in time until you've done all 4 of them. But they will go away once you've done all 4 of them. So, and then I've got 3 of these guys still that we've been working on farting and feeding up. I will get a 4th from this thing, and I already have one of these champions at 50. I may see if I can get another 4 of them to get another one of this epic, because I kind of like this epic, but it will probably depend on how my high L shape up after these shard pulls. So that is certainly, something to think about. But right now I've got these 3. I will definitely get one more from the Summon Rush. I'm on pace to get the one from the Fire Knight. Dungeon Divers is going to be a slog, but I have a bunch of champions I need to train up, mostly to fuse Fabian, because I have to make, at least one more set of 4 stars here, and then I'll need at least these 3 champions to be 5 stars, 50 here. So that's a bunch of champion training just for that. On top of that, we do actually, it's in the fusion here, we have Broadmaw, who I now have that rare. I have 2 of that rare. I've got this rare. He's already leveled up. I just need to ascend him. And I've got that rare. Plus, I can fuse more of these rares if I really, really want to by using some of these champions here. But that takes some effort, and that's only 50 points. So I can get another 350 points for Broadmaw, which I think I will do just to make sure I have a Broadmaw, because I think he will be very helpful for Faction Wars as well. And then finally, do I have anything else to summon? I don't remember. All right, no. So that is everything that I can get instantly without doing any additional work. And my count has transformed significantly, and I'm already at 2,000 points. I can get another 350 for Broadmaw. I can get another 350 for Dawncaller, so I could be at 2,750 points without much sweat, let alone the fact that I do definitely have to eventually fuse that 4th epic. So I will get that 350 points for that 4th epic as well. So this has been easy, but I might as well get as many points here as I can, because that's just going to be good overall for the account. So with that said, we're going to be pulling some shards. All right. So I've moved myself over here to not block the shard counts because people have complained about it, and we'll see how I like this. I kind of like myself on the other side, but you know, this will work. So we've got 2 primal shards here, we've got 2 void shards, we got 45 ancients, and we have 267 mystery shards, or 76 or whatever. No, I'm not going to be pulling the mystery shards. Don't need to. The primal shards, there's no reason not to at this point in time on this account. Obviously, I'd prefer to save these things normally for a 2x mythical event, but this event is going to end before we get to another 2x primals or any sort of elevated primal rates in most cases, so I don't expect to have a lot of these things. Void shards, they're 2x, might as well pull them. Ancient shards, 2x, definitely need to pull them on this account. I need HP burners. I could use some fun legendaries, but HP burners are probably the biggest thing that I have been missing for this account. I would also love a slightly better clan boss damage dealer, because right now Wukong does a decent job, but a better clan boss damage dealer would be fine. That would probably help the damage overall. Plus it means I can probably change my Wukong build just a little bit. And again, you know, something that would actually help me, you know, build an unkillable team would be kind of cool maybe. We'll see. There's all kinds of fun stuff. I definitely could use the push into Ultra Nightmare. My teams have not been as good as I would like. We're doing okay in Nightmare, but I'd like to push into Ultra Nightmare before the end of this competition, which is in 2 weeks from, well, today as of filming this. So let's get over to the primal shards. We, as always, have Pepsi here as I crack this puppy open. Pepsi bringing us luck, bringing us legendaries, maybe bringing us mythicals, bringing us some amazing epics, and unfortunately not bringing us any money because they have not sponsored us yet. Pepsi, think about it. Just think about it. We are, actually, I don't quite have enough room. Give me a second. I'm going to make 2 more spaces. All right, after that brief interlude, we have plenty of spaces to pull all 49 of these shards. Oh, maybe I did have room before, and that's fine. So let's get pulling. I would absolutely love a mythical. It's not going to happen. Let's get an epic. A nice epic from these would be good. That's an epic. That is a Quargon the Crowned. I mean, he's not horrible. It's got an A3 here. It's perfect veil and increased attack on attack-based champions or people with attack higher than defense. Puts a increased defense and block debuffs on people with whose defense is higher than their attack. So basically, he tends to put block debuffs and increased defense on supports and perfect veil and increased attack on attack champions. He's not horrible, but he's okay. He's a decent support with this. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, not the greatest skill in the world. You don't necessarily have to book him. I have run him in Faction Wars teams. And then he's got a heal, and this heal is actually pretty decent. So it's got a good heal and a shield buff on everybody, and it's on a 4-turn cooldown, bookable to a 3-turn cooldown. So honestly, this is the better skill for him. I mean, this is okay, but he's a pretty decent healer from that support. And then finally, he has a 30% chance of increasing the duration of a random buff on a random ally for 1 turn on his A1, which is meh. It goes with the 50%. It's not bad, but you know, he's okay. He's an okay epic. The good thing is he comes with good stats because he's an epic. And yeah, he might be usable in Faction Wars. I mean, right now I've got 2 Broodlords that I've been running, and one of them isn't even built. So maybe Quargon might replace one of those. I don't know. We'll see if that's going to help the legend. That's going to help my Lizardmen or not. The problem is I also need to replace somebody with Broad Moss, so I still don't know if that's going to help or not. But he's not a horrible champion, just not great. Let's get something really cool from Primals. Another epic, and that is a Deathless. Deathless is not very good. Decreased defense, decreased speed, decreased attack. Really weird conditions on this. Not particularly great. It's defense-based champion. Reflect damage champion that attacks one enemy has a chance of placing provoke on a single enemy. It is a 3-turn cooldown, unbooked, and it's 80% provoke, so it's not the worst provoke, but not great. Attacks all enemies, damage based on defense, and damage increases by number of dead allies. Just no. Not a particularly great skill set, not particularly useful. So, we're not thrilled with Deathless. So, Void Shards. Again, burner, cool epic, cool legendary would be kind of cool. Let's see if we can get something cool. That is not cool. I mean, there's rares I would really like, and he's not one of them. And neither is he. So that was kind of disappointing. All right, so we got 5 of these to pull, and then we will make 4 10 pulls. We are really hoping for something kind of spicy here. We are approaching Mercy. I'm not going to hit Mercy with these 45, but we're getting there. We're 115, 120 shards into pulling Ancients. So let's get something kind of cool. Come on, let's get something cool. That's an epic. That is a Kellen the Shrike. I can probably use him. Kellen the Shrike is mostly just a damage dealer. He's got an AoE here. He does okay damage with this. Damage increase of rage debuff on the target. That's not too bad. Single enemy attack that puts Veil on him puts decreased speed out as well. And weaken on the A1. Passive here will ignore shield buffs when attacking under a perfect Veil. Very meh, because you don't see a lot of shield buffs in PvE. He's not definitely a PvP champion. He'll probably go on my Sylvan Watchers team. Probably. I don't know. I've got Bowsmith Flannan, who probably is a better champion than him. It's a rare, so that's kind of sad. I've got a bunch of good Sylvan Watchers, so I don't know if he's actually going to be worth building on this account, even for Faction Wars. We'll certainly see. There are definitely better epics in Sylvan Watchers. Sentinel, very, very good rare. I've got one already. He's got a self-heal on here. He's got an AoE, decrease attack and heal reduction, and an A1 provoke. Very good for some of the secret rooms because it's an HP-based champion as well. I do have one built on this faction already. Okay, this is a champion I could think about. I can't use her on this Demon Lord. All right. She is a good Demon Lord damage dealer. She is a good clan boss damage dealer. But she's got a burn on her, and the problem is this burn will replace Geomancer's burn. Now I could turn this off, and it's a single target burn, which makes her only really useful in faction in the clan boss. But she's got a poison. She puts some poison up. She's got increased crit rate on herself, so she can kind of keep that up on a 3-turn cooldown. Doesn't need books for this either. So, and then attacks 2 times. Each critical hit fills this champion's turn meter by 10%. So if she's critical hitting and she's doing some damage, she's not too bad. Plus she's got a crit rate in an arena. That's not great. She's decent. She does decent damage now. I believe this poison is on each hit. So this is up to 2 poisons per attack. The burns would be great. If she wasn't removes all buffs from the target. That's interesting. That's actually not too bad either. Maybe she might end up being a Faction Wars champion. My Faction Wars for this faction done very well, but it's been Alice and everyone else I can just kind of throw on the team. So we'll see if Juliana's any use. But she can be a very good clan boss damage dealer. She needs a lot of books, doesn't get any cooldown books. The problem is this burn is part of the star of her kit for clan boss, and I've got Geomancer. So I don't think she's really going to play well on this account. But, not too bad. All right, we've got 40 more Ancients. Let's get some cool stuff. We've actually got some pretty good epics so far. So we are more than beyond what I need to get that one rare. Let's go. And let's get some cool epics. Gorgorab, that's the kind of cool epic we're looking for. Gorgorab is fire. I like Gorgorab. Gorgorab gives us an arena speed aura of 23%, so it's one of the better arena speed auras. He has basically a mini Arbiter-esque fill the turn meter, inputs increase attack up there as well. You got to ascend him to get the 50%. 4-turn cooldown, unbooked, 3-turn cooldown when booked. Yes, it's only 15% on the increase attack, but this is really, really good. And he has an AoE revive. It's not the best revive, but it's heals dead allies at 25% heal, and then heals all allies by 25%. And this heal can happen even if there's nobody dead. So he brings healing where you struggle to have healing in some cases. Now, with Undead, I have actually had to beat Undead without him and use Grinner as a reviver. He is a much better champion for Faction Wars, minimum, and he can be very useful in Arena. He's got an A1 chance of removing a buff if you build him with accuracy. You're probably not going to build him with accuracy. If you're going to build him in arena, you want him as fast as possible. His base speed isn't great, but he can certainly be pretty fast for you. If you're going to build him for faction wars, you're going to want some regeneration gear on him, or at least some immortal gear on him, so he's constantly healing, and you still want him really fast because he is a speed booster. So good champion though. That is actually going to be helpful on this account. So that's the first really good pull that we've gotten, and we can certainly do better. Let's get some cool stuff here. Come on. There is Dark Aethel. Ugh. Spider. I've already got a spider. What is it with Dark Elves in this account? All right, I've already got a spider, so that's a dupe. That might end up being a chicken. Because, well, Faction Guardians is not bad. I don't know if I need a second spider on this account, so that might be a chicken for a while. Dark Aethel, she is a login champion and she needs help. She's got this tax all enemies, gets extra turns if she kills 10 or more enemies. She's supposed to be an early spider champion, but she's an early spider champion that you get so late that you're well beyond the spider what she's useful for. She's good for spider 10, maybe spider 15, but she doesn't do enough damage to kill the spiderlings anyway, which is part of the problem with her kit. She doesn't do enough damage, and even if she did do enough damage, she's built for a spider level that doesn't make any sense. She needs a rework. Tax all enemies, decrease speed. That's not too bad. AoE decrease speed, and it is 2 AoEs. So I may end up building her on Undead for Faction Wars. Maybe just keep her at level 4 for some damage for Undead at least, because she does have 2 AoEs, 5-turn cooldown, 5-turn cooldown, so it's not great. They booked a 4-turn, but I'm not going to book her. And decrease defense on the A1. It can be the big curse and decrease defense. And finally, increase ally attack in all battles. Not a horrible aura, just not super great. Spider gives you decreased defense and weaken. The weaken is a lower chance. He does need a lot of books since a 5-turn cooldown. It's part of why he's got a problem. And he's got decreased attack. He's a decent champion, although this only books a 75% chance. And a 3-turn cooldown. He needs a lot of books to be mediocre, and that's really his biggest problem. If he either needed less books or he booked from mediocre to great, that would be very, very useful. And honestly, they could just buff him by dropping this to a 5-turn cooldown, making it a 4 when it gets booked, and then make this, up to 100% when it's booked. 2 easy fixes and he's good to go. They probably never will. Speed aura in dungeons, 25% could be useful. He does have really quick animations, so I know that there are people who have been using him for some speed run teams, for end game teams as well. But I've already got one, as I said before, so not particularly great. All right, we got 2 more 10 pulls. Let's get something really cool. That's a husk. Okay, they're legendary. Tyrant. Ooh, yes. I'm super happy now. Tyrant would be disappointing on later game pulls, but Tyrant is absolutely amazing. First, we're going to talk about Husk, because Husk's really good too. He's an undead damage dealer, but he has got a 5-turn bookable to 4 cooldown, enemy max HP with a stun. He will actually possibly be usable on some of my Hydra teams. So, and this stun is great. He is worth booking because these extra things get that AoE stun, makes him very valuable in Faction Wars, and he has an AoE provoke. This does damage, but it's not that great. But because he's max HP, you can kind of build him with HP or defense. You can build him kind of tanky for a nuker, and yes, you'll lose out a little bit of damage here, but since this is mostly max HP damage, you're not really hurting too much by building it with a little bit of tank, because this is doing most of the damage as long as you build with a lot of crit rate and 100% crit rate and a lot of crit damage. So he is a very, very good champion. That's actually a good epic to pull on this account. Tyrant solves my HP burn issue. So Tyrant is a great pull. He's not the greatest champion, but he's the champion So what does he do? Well, he's got an A1 here, attacks one enemy, heals this champion by 25% of the damage inflicted, heals 50% of the damage inflicted instead of the targets under HP burn. And he's a defense-based, damage based on defense is an HP-based champion. Come on, Polarium. All right, so he's damage based on defense, so I have to keep that in mind. Attacks all enemies, has a 75 bookable to 100% chance of placing HP burn on all enemies for 3 turns when fully ascended. 4-turn cooldown, bookable to 3. He will definitely be getting some books because I've got 6 or 7 legendary books, so hopefully I can get this book to be 100%. That will help me push in Spider. The other thing he does for Spider, which is great, is he has this ally protection and increased defense on all allies. That could be interesting in Clan Boss too, in fact, with the 3-turn cooldown and the increased defense. I could maybe try to do a double ally protection, turn off his burns in Clan Boss because I don't want the burns to be running to interfere with Geomancers. We'll see. That only needs one book. He needs some books here, but he doesn't need a lot of books either, so that's great. He's also got a great passive too. Decreases damage inflicted by enemies under HP burn debuffs by 10%. That'll actually be helpful in Clan Boss. So he may end up in my Clan Boss team with a double ally protection with Taragi. And if I can get that to work pretty well, that'll be kind of cool. So we'll see. He is going to get built. He is going to be very, very helpful in this account. He will help me with the what's his name? The Ice Golem. He will help me with Spider. He is the champion I really could use. So this is a good legendary to pull on this account. It's not a legendary that requires too much investment. In fact, he doesn't have to be in the best gear if I'm not putting him in my Clan Boss team, but we'll see if I can put him in my Clan Boss team. And I'm sure he can find some use in other areas of the game as well. He's a good champion. Definitely overlooked in the later game because you don't look for ally protection as much. You don't need the HP burn only, and there are certainly better HP burners out there, but that is actually really, really good. So I'm super excited. And we got 10 more. So let's get another legendary. Yes, legendary. Oh. I mean, a 5-star champion. Ooh, we got a couple of fun ones. And we got an apothecary. Yes. Okay. This is an awesome, weird, and awesome pull. All right. So I've got a Taragi. He's awesome. Ally protection, poisons on reflect damage. I don't need a second one, but I will probably hold on to him for faction guardians. Maybe. We'll kind of see how I am for champion training. Glacea Soul Guide is... Yeah, actually, she might be usable, but I think she needs books to really be usable. So what does she do? Well, she's got a A1 freeze, so that could be useful for Fire Knight Hard if I want to push in Fire Knight Hard, because I have another champion that kind of fits with that too. AoE Weaken on a 3-turn cooldown. Steals random debuff rated to be under freeze. She'll probably see some use in Faction Wars, even if I don't make her beyond a 5-star. On this account. So I'm not going to lie, that's not going to be bad. Block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. I wish that was a 3-turn cooldown, but 4-turn cooldown, not too bad. It's usable. Also places a 60% chance, 80% of freeze on all enemies for 1 turn. So why isn't this 100% Polarium? Really? Fills the champion's turn meter by 15% for each free debuff placed by this skill. So 4-turn cooldown freeze at an 80% chance and block debuffs. If this didn't have the block debuffs, she would be worse than Creodin the Blue, who's an ep. So she needs some help. At least make this 100%. Drop it to a 4-turn bookable to 3-turn cooldown Polarium. Be super helpful. What's kind of her claim to fame or infamy is cannot be put on cooldown her skills. Whenever an enemy tries to put her on cooldown, or an allies, she'll place a free debuff on that ally and has a 50% chance of denying the cooldown increasing effect. She could be a very anti-Alice in Arena, actually. That could be kind of interesting. This free debuff cannot be blocked or resisted, will not deny cooldown increasing effects from bosses. That's the other unfortunate part. If this denied the boss one, she would be useful against the Immortal Dragon. So yeah, she's okay. She will, on this account, she will definitely get built at least to 5 stars because she will be very helpful in Faction Wars just because this is an AoE weaken without needing any books, actually. So that's kind of nice. And then she got some freeze as well, and block debuffs, definitely useful. I don't need to book her, and she'll still be useful even at 5 stars. So from that end, this is not a bad pull. It's unfortunately like pulling a really good epic as opposed to a very mediocre legendary. But hey, that's not too bad. Cage Breaker, I don't remember what you do other than I don't remember liking you that much. Attacks one enemy, has a 40% chance of placing, I think I actually have one of these guys, so this might be a dupe. It's got 4 times at random sleep, and an AoE destroys max HP. Yeah, I kind of remember, I think I pulled one of you, maybe. I'll have to take a look at my Ogren. So, and of course, we got Ren in the Silken. That's actually not too bad, other than I have Tree Shield Knot, and I like Tree Shield Knot better. She brings a Revive Dead Ally on a 4-turn cooldown with an okay revive with continuous heal. It's not great. It's actually a kind of underwhelming revive, even for an epic reviver. Gives a turn meter fill and increased speed. That's useful. So maybe she might be built for that particular part. Plus a double revive team is not bad. We'll certainly see my Sylvan Watchers are getting crowded now, so that could be a problem. Then attacks one enemy, places decreased attack for 2 turns if you build it with some accuracy. And she gives you a faction Crypt Speed Aura, which is actually pretty nice as well. I like Tree Shield Knot better as far as a well-rounded support, honestly, than Renin. But Renin brings the speed, which can be very, very helpful. I actually don't think I'm going to be using her just because I already have Creodin, who does increase speed. I've got Rorella, which does increase speed. So I've got 2 other champions that do the increased speed, and they have other uses as well. Yes, she has the single target revive, but Tree Shield Knot is going to be an easier investment. So yeah, it's okay. And of course, Apothecary. Everyone knows Apothecary. He has the increased speed. He has the heal. He has the 3 times at random attack. He is a very, very good rare. I'm definitely going to be building him to some extent. I don't need to invest in him heavily because I've got better champions now that do kind of the stuff that he does. But he will definitely be good, at least for high elf faction wars, because he does bring a lot of really good support for that. So that is my shard pulls here. We got 2 legendaries on the account, you know, not like top tier legendaries, but one of them is going to be absolutely amazing for this. We got other missions here. All right. So I got stuff I can claim here. That'll be good. So yeah, we can start doing some of this stuff now. And this is just free rewards at this point in time. I don't need to push all this stuff. And honestly, this 10,000 points in events is going to be probably around where it ends, except for maybe the stage 14 and Barbarian Crypts. We'll see how my Barbarians do. But again, I'm not pushing for Ramontu at this point in time. I'm not pushing for Marius because that's really not where this account's going to be going. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's go see where we did in the champion chase. We got the 5-star chicken. We're at 6,250 points. We might be able to get that legendary book. We got that legendary book already, so that's awesome. Funny part is we're actually going to get 10 points for getting this dude as well, so that's awesome. So this has been absolutely amazing. It is both triumphant and frustrating. I definitely need to figure out which champions I'm going to invest in build in. Tyrant doesn't necessarily have to be 6 stars unless I'm going to bring him the clan boss. I don't necessarily have to build RB to 6 stars unless I'm going to really be pushing. She's going to help me on high elves as well, so that's going to be great. I got a bunch of faction wars help, which is actually one of the things I think is going to help me push on this account, and maybe a couple duplicates that I might keep around, or maybe I actually have a couple of epic chickens that I can actually use for some champion training. We'll see. I want to push this account to the max, so I'm going to be grinding for the next 2 weeks, and I appreciate you guys giving me all that wonderful support. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it. It's another way you can help support me. You guys are absolutely awesome. Don't forget, if you want to start raid, there is a wonderful link down below. Click that link, get yourself an Ugo, get yourself a Zargala, have a fun new account, secondary account, new primary account. It helps support me either way. You guys are absolutely awesome. Much love. Hopefully your shard pulls are great. Let me know down below if you got anything cool or if anything that maybe you think I'm overlooking that might be really exciting. And until the next video, I am Bront CatHerder.